Yeah, it is. It's a working day for us. So the starters from yesterday on a recovery session, the other 8 or 9 guys worked hard outside, and it's just a working day. So we have to make every focus now is on Dumbarton. There's no point winning 3 points yesterday and dropping any at the weekend. So our focus has to be on a good performance again at Dumbarton.
Is it your title to lose now?
No, it's one game at a time. It's always been that way. We've started the season off really well. We've learnt from games, and we're a good squad in a good position. But there's more twists and turns. It's up to us to be focused, prepared for each and every game, one at a time. As I say, there's no point focusing 3 or 4 weeks ahead, dropping points in between. It's just got to be best prepared, training-wise, eating-wise, rest and recovery for another good performance on Saturday.
Do you see it as a three-way fight with Falkirk getting involved as well?
No, teams can put runs together. You know, we've seen that. I mentioned last week in the press about Leicester in the Premier League last year, who looked destined for relegation, a magnificent achievement in their run. Teams can put runs together. So our focus is Rangers. You know, we always respect other clubs, but our focus has to be Rangers, doing what we do well. And if we do that, we'll be in good shape come the end of the season.
Was yesterday one of your best performances?
I thought yesterday the level of performance, the intensity, the tempo, the quality, the work rate went down to 10 men. The commitment, desire. We didn't look to defend the lead. We looked to remain positive. We're not a team that can sit and defend a lead. So when the second goal went in, we had to make sure we were positive, and that was a message to the players, and they knew that anyway. So delighted with that. Overall, I thought we really deserved 3 points.
Just regarding the red card, you are appealing, is that correct?
Yeah, appealing, yeah.
Was that a case of two players really not covering themselves in glory?
I think it was an emotion-charged game, a packed game, the attendance, the feeling around it, the whole stadium, and it's two very competitive players. That's the situation from our point of view. As I say, the process is going through. Best I keep quiet on that one and see what happens to the process.
Mark, does what you saw yesterday change your opinion on what you need or don't need in January?
No, not at all. Not at all. We know what we need. We know what we're after. If we don't get what we're after, we're not going to get players for numbers' sake. They've got to be players who can add something that we don't currently possess. Because the squad is strong. You know, I said yesterday, before the game, we were top of the league with a young squad, really young squad that's been together 6 months. So we're in good shape, but we've got 2 or 3 targets that we hope we can secure. Touch wood, and if we're successful, we'll be fine. But if we don't get the players we want, we won't move for the sake of it.
You said you felt your players answered some questions yesterday. What do you hope you can take from this? Is it about now trying to go on a similar run to what Hibs did when they won the previous game at Easter Road?
We want to win every game we play. And every team says that. We want to win every game that we play. We prepare the work the same way. There's no drop in the standards. We have to go into every game respecting a tough test and doing our homework, doing analysis. We've done today. We just reviewed yesterday's game, gone through that in detail. We'll do more of that on Thursday before training. Then after training, we focus on Dumbarton. So get everything right. And as I say, go into every game expecting to get the 3 points.
Is it, just to touch on the previous one, is it the loan market that you'd be looking at, or is it more permanent signings?
Both. If we can find the quality we're looking for, be it permanent or be it in the loan market, we'll move accordingly. So it's about knowing what we want, where we think we're lacking, looking at the injury situation, the heavier pitches, the fixture schedule, going through January, February into early March, and making sure we have the options in place as and when required.
Are you close to securing it?
I hope so. A lot of work goes on. People look at the January and summer windows and say, you just start your work on January the 1st. Not at all. The work's being done weeks and weeks in advance, hopefully, but for want of a better term, it's a fluid market. It moves quickly, and you've got to make sure you're in position to do it. And deals can be missed through no fault of staff. But it happens. But hopefully we've done our homework, and fingers crossed we can land 1 or 2.
You look to move anyone out, Mark?
No, it's just making sure. We're all about respect and honesty with players. You know, we were honest in July and August with players, and I think likewise here, players want to play football. Players have to play football, and everyone's situation is different. So we'll always be fair to players, and we have that open dialogue. And I hope very much the players know they can come and speak to the management team about any problems, issues, or concerns they may have. So players are players; they want to play, they want to earn their living, and we'll always do the right thing by them.
You got a lot of praise after yesterday's performance, where the players handled the occasion. What were the things that you felt the team perhaps needed to improve on after yesterday's performance?
After yesterday, we're always looking. It was a good performance yesterday, but everything can be better. Everything can be better. The quality of touch, the quality of passing. Could we be braver in the first half an hour? Yes, we probably could. All our work is on half turns, getting forward, hurting teams, and that's what we want to do. So we can always get better. But there's no doubt, yes, it was a really positive performance. From the first whistle, we knew, or we thought, that Hibs would look to quieten the Ibrox crowd. So we had to get the ball back quickly, hunt in packs, get the ball and use the ball. And we did that. And within 1 minute, we just heard an analysis, within 1 minute we'd secured it, put a penetrating ball, and then forced a mistake from a goal kick. So the game plan worked well, and the players displayed excellent commitment yesterday, but we can always get better.
Do you think you made a bit of a statement yesterday, because your team had received some criticism going into the match based on your form? A lot of people were talking about Hibs, what they'd done, a very long unbeaten run. Do you think you've made a statement?
I don't think we had to. I don't mean that in an arrogant way. We're top of the league, and we haven't got to make a statement. But I thought we just kept quiet and went about our work, which worked well for us. And it was a very strong performance. Simple as that. There were comments which frustrated us. You know, there were lots of comments about having no spine. I thought it was a hugely disrespectful statement to us at top of the league. You know, and certain media outlets saying that. We'll remember those comments. We'll use those comments. Ill-judged, in my mind, totally incorrect. But we answered them yesterday.
How widely was that spoken about in the dressing room, and about the players, or is it you specifically speaking to the players?
The media in Scotland is very different. I've been warned about it, and you get to learn about it very quickly. And interesting, I think, is the word. But the fact is how you deal with that. It is what it is. So therefore, you know, when appropriate criticism, expect it. If we draw or lose a game, we expect criticism, absolutely. But when comments get quite personal, when comments refer to having no spine and being so badly exposed, then I think we have to respond. And we responded. We responded in front of a packed Ibrox, a fantastic crowd, passionate crowd yesterday, and a level of performance, a level of intensity, which said we are what we are. This is Rangers. I thought yesterday was very much a Rangers performance.
Is the next game almost as important, because there's no point in having such a good display yesterday if your next game, you know, it peters out into a draw or a defeat?
That's absolutely what we just said. That's our first line. You must have been listening to our analysis session. There's no point winning 3 points yesterday and then dropping points in the next two games. So now, enjoy yesterday as we did. You know, enjoy it, as I say, and come in this morning. Good atmosphere, obviously. Learn from analysis. Recovery day tomorrow. They're off tomorrow, and then we go hard on Thursday and Friday, preparing for the game of the weekend.
Was Nicky Law one of the standout guys for yesterday, especially being out for so long? He came in and he really sort of picked up the pace of the game.
It's about us using the squad, and it's also about us giving the players belief, the confidence in their belief, and our belief, that what we think about them. Nicky had been out for 7 or 8 weeks. You know, Gideon's performance has been outstanding. Dean Shields pushing hard, making goals, scoring goals, as he did yesterday again. But Nicky Law came in, added the quality and the experience, and he had the experience of that atmosphere as well. You know, for people like Wes, Tav, Rob Kiernan, Waggy, etc., that's the first time they've experienced that level of atmosphere. And they've got to enjoy it and relish it, but it's you know, it's nerve-wracking, and you've got to make sure you focus and concentrate. So delighted for that. But Nicky Law came in yesterday and showed a really shrewd head, composure on the ball, and he impacted the game. So delighted for Nicky.
Looking ahead to Saturday, then you're going to have to sort of rejuggle things with if Andy isn't back, if the appeal doesn't go through. Have you got any thoughts on who might fill that?
There's no problem with that at all. I've got no problem using Dean Shields, no problem using Jordan Thompson, no problem at all using Dominic Ball, as we did yesterday. 20-year-old stepping into that arena yesterday. Dom looked calm, looked assured, dealt with it really well, so we've got no end of options. And that's how the squad will be a tight squad, but we've got to make sure players have the flexibility to play in more than one position. So Dom can play, for example, right back, left or right centre half, or he can play the holding midfield player for us. So to have players like that, to have Barry Mackay who can play 7, 8, 10, 11, gives us great flexibility.
Mark, just to go back a wee bit to, you were talking about the criticism which you found was unjustified. A lot of managers say they don't read the papers, and you're obviously not one of them. No,
it's not that. I mean, you can't fail to read it. You know, you read through the papers, and I'm not saying ignore. That's the wrong word. You take it for what it is 95% of the time. But I think sometimes when the words are inappropriate, then I think we have to respond, and we use that with the players. And the players were as irate as we were, and it sharpened focus even more. You know, it needed to, but it sharpened focus even more, and delivered an appropriate response yesterday, I felt.
So are you giving the media credit for that performance yesterday?
Absolutely.
Alan Stubbs was quite open about his mind games in the lead up. Did that motivate you? Did it backfire from him?
I'm not a fan of. This thing, mind games. What are mind games? You know, everyone's different. And the world would be a really boring place. I said that last week. If everyone's the same, what a boring world it would be. But mind games, what are mind games? If you're affected by what someone else says, then you're in the wrong industry. you have to be fairly thick-skinned to be in football, I think, and if you are bothered by other comments, then get out and change your job. So people say what they want to say. From our point of view, focus on Rangers. The words should be our words to our players and our staff. If we get them right, then we'll be okay.
Team news, so it's close up to looking for them.
All good, all injury-free, touch wood. This morning came in, a couple got cramp, just a heavy pitch in the 10 men, but we recovered well this morning. They're in good shape. Day off tomorrow, a bit of retail therapy, I'm sure, for a couple of them, and back in on Thursday.
Cammy and David Templeton, is there any sort of time frame back in?
Cammy's training, and Temps was out running this morning, so they're back in terms of training. But as I say, it's they've been out for a while, so they've got to get themselves fit. It's, they're good pros. They've got to get themselves fit now and see how we go.
Will they be in the squad, or are they still too early for that?
It's too early. It's too early for that.
But tucked up early in Hogmanay, New Year's Eve, you've been your first Scottish New Year.
Yeah, unfortunately we're working on the 1st of January, so it might be a quiet meal somewhere, a glass of wine. But now looking forward to it and see how we go.